not taking any chance. Watson without too big of a lead in second, but he'll be running like the wind if Thomson hits one. Francis throws. There's a ball coming. I can't be in the lead. The Giants from the pennant. 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 Bobby Thomson hits into the right back of the Michigan Giants. The Giants from the pennant, and they're going crazy. They're going crazy.
All the stars are here today for this championship game of the three-game series between the 1951 Brooklyn Dodgers and the 1951 New York Giants. Those stars are Gil Hodges, Preacher Rowe, Don Newcomb, today's pitcher, Harold Pee Wee Reese, Duke Snider, who was incredible yesterday, Jackie Robinson. For the Giants, Willie Mays, Monty Irvin, Sal Magley, who will be on the mound today, Al Dark, Jim Hearn, 23-game winner, Bobby Thomson. This is the deciding game of the three-game rivalry series, Apba Classics. Let's meet the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Brooklyn Dodgers, Carl Furillo will be in right field. Pee Wee Reese, the shortstop. Duke Snider in center field. Jackie Robinson at second base. Andy Pafko in left field. Gil Hodges, the first baseman. Billy Cox at third base. Rube Walker is catching. And pitching is Don Newcomb. He has Y and Z modifiers. To go with this grade B, basic pitching grade. For the New York Giants, Eddie Stanky will lead off and play second base. Alvin Dark will play shortstop. Alvin Dark only missed 3 games in his 5 years with the New York Giants. Don Mueller will be playing right field. Monty Irvin in left field. Whitey Lockman, first baseman. Bobby Thomson at third base. Willie Mays in center field. Wes Westrom, the catcher. And Sal the Barber Magley, who is a grade 14. We're using the basic boards. 14 would be also a grade B. We're ready to get this game going. I'm very excited for it. Here we go. Carl Furillo steps in the box for the Brooklyn Dodgers. 21 is a fly out to left field. And that's how this game starts. Pee Wee Reese. 24 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Duke Snider. 6-6 is a long drive. It might be, it could be, it is out of here. And the Dodgers break out on top, 1-0. Here is Jackie Robinson. 23-26. Ground out to the second baseman. Eddie Stanky over to Whitey Lockman for the third out of the first inning, but the fans are hardly in their seat, and the Brooklyn Dodgers are up 1-0. Eddie Stanky will lead off for the Giants. Newcomb working with a 1-run advantage now. 24 is going to be a strikeout. Al Dark. 56 is a fly out to right field. So quickly 2 are down. Don Miller is the batter. 51 is a roll. That's going to be an 8 on a grade B pitcher. It's going to be a fly out to center field. The Giants are out in the bottom of the first. We go to the top of the second. Brooklyn 1, New York nothing. Andy Pafko will lead off the top of the second for Brooklyn, former Chicago Cub who played in the 1945 World Series. 32 is a ground out to the second baseman. Brooklyn is a fielding column 1 team, and New York is fielding column 2. We'll use the Merino boards for steal situations. Gil Hodges is the batter. 23 is the roll. Fly out to left field. And Magley has retired 5 of the first 6, but that one he didn't get. It was hurting him. He's behind 1-0. Billy Cox, that's a hit column roll. 62 is going to be a 2-base hit for Billy Cox. With 2 outs, he'll be in scoring position, and Rube Walker will be the Dodger batter. And in case you're wondering why National League MVP Roy Campanella is not in the lineup, yesterday or today he injured his leg in a collision at the end of the 51 season. He tried to go Monday's game, went over 3. Felt like he was hurting the team, and that's why he's not in the lineup today. Rube Walker stands in, 2 outs, runner on second. 65 is going to be a pop-up to in foul territory to the third baseman, and that's the end of the threat in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Dodgers 1, Giants nothing. Monty Irvin will lead off the bottom of the second for the New York Giants. 1-5 is a 10 on a grade B pitcher. That's going to be a base hit to center field. The leadoff runner is on for the Giants, and he would be the tying run. Whitey Lockman. Marty Irvin's stealing rating is F33, which means he didn't go very often. Did steal 12 bases in the 51 season, but with an F33 rating, there has to be two outs, -1 or tied, score, 7th inning or later. So he's not going, but they consider hit and run. Let's see if there's an 11 on his card. There is not. He's holding. Lockman. 41 is a problem for the Giants. Ground out shortstop, double play, 6-4-3, and just like that, Newcomb is out of trouble to face Bobby Thomson. 24 is a swing and a miss. Thomson goes down swinging. And we go to the top of the third. Brooklyn 1, New York nothing. Okay, Sal Magley completes his warm-up tosses. The Dodgers are looking at a 23-game winner in 1951 here. They had 2 23-game winners to lead the league in Larry Jansen and Sal Magley. Don Newcomb will be the leadoff hitter for the Giants here in the top of the third. He is not unfamiliar with the bat. He is a good hitting pitcher. 51, he hit 223. 220, that's an A against a B pitcher. It's going to be a fly out to center field for the first out. Back to the top of the order. And Carl Furillo. Pitch to Furillo. 56 is a fly out to right field. And Pee Wee Reese. 63 is a fly out to center field. We go to the bottom of the third. Dodgers are up by 1. Okay, Don Newcomb himself was a 20-game winner in 1951. The aces of both of these staffs are on the mound today. Willie Mays will lead off for the Giants. 36 is the roll. It's going to be a walk for Willie Mays. He really only stole 7 bases in 1951. Later in his career, he was a prolific base stealer, but not in his rookie season. He's an F25 rated stealer, so he can't go yet. Wes Westrom is the batter. Here's the pitch to Wes Westrom. 25 is a 2 balls and no strike count. He has a Z modifier, Newcomb does. 63 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. And Wes Westrom is the first out The bottom of the third, Sal Magley comes to bat. Sal Magley is a 151 hitter. He was not paid to swing the bat. He did have one home run in 51. There's the pitch to Magley. He's going to swing away. 56 is a roll, and it's a high pop out to the shortstop, but there is a Y modifier. Newcomb has that Y modifier and strikes out Sal Magley. With two down, Eddie Stanky comes to bat. Stanky played in the 48 World Series with the Boston Braves and hit over 320 that year as well. Here's the pitch to Eddie Stanky. 4-5 is a 2 balls and no strike count. 63 is going to be a fly out the center field. Ending the third inning, we go to the top of the fourth. The Brooklyn Dodgers 1 and the New York Giants 0. Okay, in the top of the fourth inning, Duke Snider will be leading off for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He is having a great playoff series. He is 5 for 8 in this playoff series with 3 home runs. Here's the pitch to Snider. 24 is a strikeout here, though, for the first out. Jackie Robinson. 2 is a ground out to shortstop. 2 away. And now Andy Pafko. There's a drive by Pafko. It might be. It could be. It is out of here for a home run. And now the Dodgers lead 2-0 over the New York Giants. 3 hits today. All 3 hits have been extra base hits off Sal Magley. Gil Hodges. 56 is a pop out to the shortstop. But the Dodgers tack on another run here in the fourth and lead the Giants 2-0. Al Dark will step in for the Giants in the bottom of the fourth inning. 44 is a base hit for Al Dark. He's an E25 stealer. That means that he can go with, if there's 2 outs, minus a run or up a run or tied. So he will not be looking to steal. And he does not have an 11 in the first column or 11 on his card. Don Miller is the batter. A little surprised the Giants didn't steal more than they did. Grosher is a bit of a gambler. Here's the pitch to Don Miller. 45 is 2 balls and no strikes. They're going to start the runner anyway. Here we go. It's going to be a hit and run. There goes Dark. Here's the pitch to Muller. 42 is a 30 play result. It's a fly out to left field, and Dark will have to scramble back to first base. Monty Irvin's the batter. And with 1 out, let's see, Irvin's only got 2 strikeout numbers on his card. I think they'll start the runner again. Here's the pitch to Irvin. 1-4 is the same thing. So 30 is going to be a fly out to left field. And 2 away. Giants are spinning their wheels, having a little trouble getting anything going here against Don Newcomb. Pitch to Lockman. 62 is a 41. It's going to be a ground out to second base. 4-3. The play result is a double play, and the runner at second is injured, unable to play the next 3 games. So we're going to say he's not injured because the play was play with 2 outs goes to first. And so we're not going to put that injury on Dark. All right, here we go with the top of the 5th inning. Brooklyn 2, New York 0. We're at the bottom of the Dodger order: Cox, Walker, and Newcomb. Here's the pitch to Billy Cox. 56 is a pop out to shortstop. Catcher Rube Walker threw out 2 base runners in yesterday's game. Trying to steal. 35 is a 36. Ball 1. And a swing and a miss for Rube Walker. He is retired, and that brings us to Don Newcomb. 46 is a fly out to right field. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Dodgers 2 and the Giants nothing. Don Newcomb in the bottom of the 5th inning will be looking at Bobby Thomson, Willie Mays, and Wes Western. Bobby Thomson played most of his career in the outfield. And in 1954, while playing with the Milwaukee Braves, he broke his ankle in spring training and was replaced by, he was a center fielder, and was replaced by Hank Aaron in 1954. 51 is a 9 against a grade B pitcher. That's going to be a base hit for Bobby Thomson. This is the 4th time in a row the Giants have been able to get their leadoff batter on base, but they have not been able to move the runner. Willie Mays is the hitter. Here's the pitch to Willie Mays. 45 is 2 balls and no strikes. Newcomb is dealing carefully with the young rookie. 51 is going to be a 9 on B. It's going to be an infield base hit for Willie Mays. And the Giants will have the first 2 runners on with nobody out. And Wes Western coming to bat. Western in 1951 was a .219 hitter, but he had some power with 20 home runs. And he does represent the go-ahead run, if he can get a hold of one here. There's the pitch from Newcomb to Western. 26 is a 12 play result. Fielding column 1, batter is safe at first on the fielder's choice. The runner's out at second, with Thomson going to third. So Mays is out. 6-4. Western goes to first with the fielder's choice. First and third, and there's 1 out. Brooklyn will play the infield back, except for at third. They're going to have to go for a bunt. And sure enough, Sal Magley squares around. 42 is a 13. That's going to be he missed the suicide squeeze. Thompson's going to be out at home. And Western will go to second base. So now there are 2 outs. Magley's still at bat. And the Giants are just not dialing it up too well here today. Here's the pitch to 33 is a roll, though. That's an 8 against a grade B pitcher with a runner on second. That's going to be a ground out back to Newcomb, who throws over to first. For the final out of the 5th inning, we go to the top of the 6th, still 2-0 Brooklyn. Carl Ferrillo will lead off for the Dodgers in a little bit of a mini slump in these playoffs. He's 1 for 7, but the 1 was a home run back in the first inning of game 2. Here's the pitch to Ferrillo. 36 is a pop out to the second baseman. And Ferrillo is now 1 for 12 in the playoffs. Pee Wee Reese. 31 is a base hit for Pee Wee. He's a D22 base stealer. Let's see, I don't think he will go for it. Duke Snyder's the batter. He does have an 11 on a card, but we don't want to sacrifice Snyder's power, so he's going to hold on there. Wait and see what the Duke can do. He's done a lot in these playoffs. 55 is at 8 with a runner on first. It's going to be a ground out to third. Reese will make it to second. 2 down. And here is Jackie Robinson. 53 is a 19 on fielding column 2. Jackie's hit by Sal the Barber. And he will take first. Okay, in these days, this day and age, I think warnings would be issued. I'm not so sure about 1951 and Sal Maglie on the mound. It was almost expected somebody's going to get hit. Here is Andy Pefka with 2 outs and 2 on. 45 is a 2 balls and no strike count. 55 is a 8 with runners on first and second. That's going to be a ground out to third base. Ending the Dodgers' top half of the 6th. Score remains Dodgers 2, Giants 0. Eddie Stanky will lead off for the Giants. They had no trouble getting the first batter on each inning, but making something of it has been a problem. Here's the pitch to Stanky, and once again, that's a base hit. They're going to get the leadoff runner on again. He's at F24, so he won't be stealing. There is no 11s on his card either. Al Dark, the batter. One roll, that's going to be the hit column. This might be what the Giants have been waiting for. 41 is a 6. That's a double. The runner will go to third unless he's a fast runner. Running speed's 14. That's the average. So first and third. With nobody out. And the Giants are mounting quite the threat here. The Dodger infield are communicating with one another, and they're indicating to each other they're going to play the infield back, try to get the double play or medium depth. Here's the pitch to Muller. 1-6 is hit on the ground, and it's going to be a 6-4 to 3 double play, but Stanky will score. No RBI on the double play, but the Giants do get on the board, and it is now Brooklyn 2, New York 1. Monty Irvin will now come up with the bases empty and 2 outs. 46 is a swing and a miss, strike 3 for Monty Irvin. Go to the top of the 7th inning. Score is now Brooklyn Dodgers 2 and the New York Giants 1. The powerful Gil Hodges will lead off the Dodgers top of the 7th. 7 consecutive years he was an all-star. Here's the pitch to Hodges. Be a ground out to the shortstop. 1 away. Billy Cox. 46 is a fly ball to left field. 2 down. Rube Walker. 22 is going to be a base hit for the catcher, Walker, and Don Newcomb will stay in the game and hit for Brooklyn. Here's the pitch to Newcomb. 43 is a 29. It's going to be a ground out back to the pitcher, and the Dodgers are retired in the 7th. Score remains 2-0 Brooklyn. Here we go, the bottom of the 7th. Whitey Lockman will lead off for the Giants. 41 is a ground out to shortstop. Bobby Thomson. As you know, the lines are not long here in the polo grounds. About less than 290 feet down the left field line. Groscher estimated that the shot heard around the world probably only went about 270 feet. In any other ballpark, the left fielder would have been coming in to catch the line drive out. Here's the pitch to Bobby Thomson, 45 or 54 as a roll, to fly out to right field. And Bobby Thompson's 1 for 3 in this game. Willie Mays comes to bat. 55 is a fly out to center field. We go to the top of the 8th. Score remains 2-1, them Bums. Top of the Dodger order, and Carl Fiorillo, the reading rifle, steps in. 43 is the roll. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Fiorillo is the first out of the 8th inning. Pee Wee Reese. 41 is a ground out to shortstop. Duke Snyder. 42 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Snyder is 1 for 4 in this game, as Magley has held him down somewhat after the home run. All right, we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Brooklyn 2, New York 1. Okay, as we go to the bottom of the 8th, we see the other 23-game winner for the New York Giants, Larry Jansen, is warming up in the bullpen. Wes Western will lead off for the Giants, and then we will see a pinch hitter for New York. 35 is going to be a walk to Wes Western. Okay, manager Leo Durocher is coaching from the third base side. Motions to his dugout for Ray Noble to pinch run for his catcher, Wes Western. Davey Williams is going to pitch run for the catcher. And Noble will go in the game in the top of the 9th to catch for Western. But Davey Williams, a E20 stealer, still has no 11s on his first column. Take a minute to tell a story here. In the actual game 3 of the playoffs, in that bottom of the 9th inning, Don Miller injured his ankle when he slid in the third, and so Durocher had to bring in a pinch runner for Muller. This is before Bobby Thomson came up and hit the home run. So he brings in his biggest guy he has, a big tough Texan named Clint Hartung, because he had been riding Don Newcomb all game long. Every time he walked past him, he was calling Newcomb everything he could think of to try to get Newcomb off his game. And he was afraid if Newcomb was relieved, he would not go to that long walk to the clubhouse in center field in the Polo Grounds, but he would go straight to third base to beat the pulp out. And that's the reason why he called on Clint Hartung. But here he's got Davey Williams. He needs more speed than a catcher at first, with a leadoff runner on base. Now there's going to be a pinch hitter for the Giants pitcher, Sal Magley. The pinch hitter is going to be Hank Thompson. Here's the pitch to Hank Thompson. Let me think about that. Okay, the pitch hitter will not be Hank Thompson. It's going to be Bill Rigney. There's only 131 on his card. He's gonna bunt with no outs, try to get the runner in scoring position. I normally hate to give up outs when you're down to your last 6 outs, but the Giants have not been able to get runners in scoring positions. A double play would be a disaster. Here's a sacrifice. 63 is a 30, and he is going to be successful with a bunt. The bunt goes out third to first, with the pinch runner going to second. Top of the order, that brings up Eddie Stanky with one down. Here in the 8th inning, here's the pitch to Stanky. 56 is a pop out to second base. Now 2 away. And a lot will be riding on the shoulders of Al Dark. Dark is 2 for 3 today, 3 for 12 in the playoffs. Here's the pitch. 31 is a 8 against a grade B pitcher, runner on second. It's going to be a ground out back to Newcomb, who throws over to Hodges for the final out of the 8th inning. We go to the top of the 9th. The Dodgers are still holding on 2-1 over the Giants. New pitcher for, actually a new catcher also. A new catcher for the Giants will be Ray Noble. And the new pitcher for New York is Larry Jansen. And he's a grade B with a Z modifier. Coming to bat for Brooklyn is Jackie Robinson. Here we are, the final inning of the final game of the playoffs. Jackie Robinson, 36-33 is a pop out to the shortstop. 1 away, Andy Pafko. 44 is a 8 against a grade B pitcher. It's going to be a fly out. Center field for the second out. And here is Gil Hodges, 0 for 3 today. 66, there's a drive. It could be, it might be, it is out of here for a home run. And the Brooklyn Dodgers extend the lead to 3-1 here in the 9th inning. That is a big insurance run here. Billy Cox, 64 is a strikeout, but some damage is done. It is now Brooklyn 3, the New York Giants 1. So at the bottom of the 9th, Don Muller, Monty Irvin, and Whitey Lockman stand between Don Newcomb and victory for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Can they turn this around? Here's the pitch to Muller. 41 is a ground out to the shortstop, handled by Reese, over to Hodges for the first out in the 9th inning. Fans are on their feet. They're both Giants fans, Dodgers fans. Here's Monty Irvin, 312 hitter in 1951. 1-5 is going to be a base hit for Monty Irvin. And getting on for the Giants has not been a problem, but doing something with that has. Whitey Lockman, who had 282, will be the batter. Here's the pitch to Whitey Lockman. 22 is a 7. That's going to be a single to right field. Irvin will make it all the way to third. And the Dodgers will have runners, or the Giants will have runners on the corners. Okay, manager Chuck Dressen of the Brooklyn Braves calls time out here. He has to go get Newcomb. Newcomb is tired. He will be coming out of the game. Big round of applause for Don Newcomb. Newcomb gives a look over to Rocher, but goes on that slow walk toward the center field clubhouse. And he is calling for Ralph Branca. Ralph Branca will be the relief pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers. You think, what about Preacher Rowe? He's probably thinking about Rowe starting game 1, which is tomorrow, of the World Series. He's hoping Branca can hold the Giants here in the bottom of the 9th. First and third, nobody out. Brooklyn will play their infield back. Branca has completed his warm-up tosses, and Bobby Thomson steps in to the plate. Here we go. Here's the pitch to Bobby Thomson. 6-6. I cannot believe it. There's a drive. Bye-bye, baby. The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant. I had to hit pause on the camera. I cannot talk. Maybe you still can't talk. But Bobby Thomson has come up in the bottom of the ninth inning and hit a 3-run homer into the lower left field stands of Polo Grounds, and the Giants are going to be the National League champions of 1951. The score, Giants 4, Brooklyn 3. What a game. There is pandemonium all over the field. Bobby Thomson has just won the pennant for the New York Giants. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a second. Okay, I think I'm ready to do the wrap-up now. But before I do that, let's talk a little bit. You must be thinking, this can't be. And it is. You know, when I sit down and I play one of these games a day, and whatever happens, happens, and it gets put up on YouTube. Since I started this channel about a month ago, there are only 2 games I've not put up on YouTube, and the only reason is because I made a mistake. One of the games I accidentally only gave 2 outs to a team in the inning and didn't catch it while I was playing. So I don't want to put up any mistakes on YouTube. Another game also had a mistake when I misread the chart and somebody was out that should have had a hit, and that would have made a difference in the game. The first game was a blowout. The next game was a really exciting game. It was a good game. But this is true, folks. You know, whatever happens, if there's no mistakes in the game, it goes up, and I have no idea what's going to happen when these games go. Except I know this: Apba is a very realistic game, and I played other games. This is why I played this game for 50 years. I love this game. I've also played a lot of Stratomatic and a few other baseball games, but primarily it's Apba is what I play. And whatever happens when the dice start rolling, that's what happens, and it gets put up on YouTube. So that editorial comment out of the way, here's the wrap-up on today's amazing game. The New York Giants defeated the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1951. The Dodgers had 3 runs on 6 hits. There were no errors in the game. The Giants scored 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors in the game. I'm dumbfounded. The winning pitcher is Larry Jansen, who pitched only 1 inning and gave up a home run to Gil Hodges. But he will be the winning pitcher. The losing pitcher, Ralph Branca, who pitched 1 batter, Bobby Thomson, had to bring in Branca. And I think DeRocher probably felt the same way. There was no time off between the days. The World Series started the next day in 1951. And so there it is. Ralph Branca, the losing pitcher. You might guess who the star of the day is. Bobby Thomson. 2 for 4. Runs scored. 3 home runs, 3 RBIs. The walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. Bobby Thomson is the star of the day. I think we've talked about it before. The Giants had an elaborate system for stealing signals toward the last half of the 1951 season. After they started so poorly at winning only 2 of their first 15 games, their goal was just to get back to 500. And that was kind of their goal. And then in the middle of August, they got incredibly hot. They played 8:30 baseball from about August 13th on. 8:30 baseball to catch the Dodgers with the same 96 and 58 records. And but they had this little system going with a guy in the blockers and the scoreboard way deep in center field, as you know how the Polo Grounds was configured. And then the guy in the bullpen, a relief pitcher, would be holding the baseball, I believe it was a fastball, and he'd be tossing it up and down, playing catch with himself if it was a breaking ball. But a lot of the Giants claim they stopped doing that. Their batting averages went down when that started. And Bobby Thomson, until he was 80 years old, said that he did not know what pitch was coming. We've probably all seen the videos about that game. Bobby Thomson let me say this. Leo Durocher at third base reminded Bobby Thomson of his homering off Ralph Branca 2 days before on Monday. And Durocher pointed out to Thomson that was a slider. He says to Thomson, "What did he throw you?" And Thomson says, "A slider." "Well, you can be sure you won't get that pitch again." And that's what Durocher said to Thomson. Thomson said he was thinking of himself, "You SOB, you got to do something now." He did. And it's been recreated here on the Apba table. What are the odds? What are the odds? Well, we'll be back tomorrow with another Apba Classic rivalry. I hadn't even really been thinking about it. And I have been thinking about the rivalries. We're going to do some Cubs Cardinals. We'll probably do Red Sox Yankees, maybe Dodgers and Angels. I think the I-70 series is, since I live in the middle of the country, I have that in mind, the Cardinals and Royals. But so I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow. We'll be back with a game tomorrow. I've got to recover from this one. Thanks for watching. It's been a